Sealander here. We're in Port St. Joe, Florida. It's scalloping season, baby. So we're gonna go out and see how we do today, and we'll report along the way. So join us as we scallop in Port St. Joe, Florida. On today's video, we'll be traveling to Port St. Joe, Florida. It's a very quaint, old beach town that's a great place to visit. I made a video on it last year, so check it out. As we zoom into Port St. Joe, we'll be launching from the Port St. Joe Marina, which is close to the intersection of State Road 71 and US Highway 98, pictured here. As I mentioned in the video, don't forget there's a fee to launch. The area we'll be scalloping is in the St. Joe Bay. Within the bay here, the points of reference I mentioned in the video are Black's Island. So off to the east, where my hand is motioning, is an area of scalloping, and down in the southwest is another area of scalloping. And there's scallops to the east of the St. Joe Peninsula, all the way out to the tip, so you can check out those areas as well. Those are the three main areas.
Just found it, you know.
Here at Port St. Joe Marina, there is a fee, so you have to come over to this machine, put your credit card in. There's a $20 launch permit fee. And I assure you will get a citation if you don't get it. So just make sure when you launch that you go ahead and get the permit, because it's a $150 fine. All right, folks, we're at the first spot. Take a look right here. It's all I can tell you, I'm in the southwest corner. Let's jump in the water and see what we get at the first spot. Let's go. All right, folks, we got the first dive in, 5 of us. We got about 8 gallons. So these are a nice catch. Here's a calico right here. Some decent ones. A little bit of Barneys there. So check these out right here. Scallops got their mouth open. Boop. You see their little mouth and the little blue eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and try it again. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. This video is intended to be instructional in nature, so I'm going to be doing some voiceover to go along with pictures and videos. So first tip is put your scallops in seawater. Notice I have a 5-gallon bucket with seawater. It keeps the scallops alive longer, and it helps them to open their mouths so they're easier to clean, which we'll show you at the end of the video. Now in this first dive, I did not show any video underwater because the visibility, you couldn't even see anything. Second of all, it's a different technique, which I'll discuss a little bit later, but most people don't like it. It's entirely by feel that I find those scallops on the first dive. But the second dive, we'll be able to show you some more interesting shots and the typical way of harvesting scallops. Anyways, off to the second spot. Let's go. Well, here we are at our second dive location. Let's take a look. You see the water is much clearer. We're down towards the tip of St. Joe Peninsula. That's the state park cabin rentals or cottage rentals. So in this dive, I'm gonna go ahead and take the GoPro and we're gonna get some underwater footage, and hopefully we can show you something of what they look like in their natural habitat. That is the bay oysters. And look for the little blue eyes. Let's go. Unlike the first dive, this is much clearer.
I did want to mention about the first dive that's entirely by feel alone. I use my feet, I use my hands, I'm not using my eyes, and by sweeping my hands left to right and my feet, I feel for the scallops. It's a technique that takes practice before you can get good, and keep in mind that there are sea urchins, so you have to be careful. But it is an effective technique, and you can certainly be successful with it. Another thing I want to note is the area. It's important to note that when you come to Port St. Joe, there's really only a few areas. You initially have on the east side of Black's Island, you'll see all the boats out there, the southwest corner, and on the back side of the state park. Those are the three main areas, but the trick is go where the boats are, explore, and you got to find the scallops. And once you find the scallops, then you want to work that area. So let's get into the instructional here. Now you just seen the blue crab. I did see about several blue crabs. So we're going to start out and get more progressively in depth as we explore these videos. There you've seen a false find. But it's important to have the word perseverance in your mind because it does take time. I'm doing a lot of swimming before I can find those scallops. So what I'm doing now is I'm searching the area, trying to find a pocket of scallops. I like the areas that's kind of sparsely grassed like this with sand bottom that I can see. And as I start looking for the scallops, see if you can find them, and I'll have some exercises coming up with that here shortly. That's a nice one right there. See the blue eyes. They have those row of blue eyes on both sides of the openings. So it's interesting to see that. But as I show you the videos, see if you can see them. There's another nice one, and its mouth is open and has the blue eyes. Continually search, finding a good area. Oh, there's another one. There's a twofer. One of the things that is interesting to note is that the time of day makes a difference, and sometimes I'll work an area and based on the position of the sun, I might go left and right or go back and forth, forward and aft, but I try to get the sun at different positions on my back to where I can see the scallops. That's a pro tip, and you'll be more successful. And also in here, I'm working a slope that's kind of going to deeper water, and so with that, I'm working an area. Once I found them, I'm working an area in patterns, and I'm keeping the depth the same. So that's another technique. But the point of this video is for you to develop an eyes to see the scallop. Kind of practice where you can look at these videos and see the scallops as I'm giving you this video here. Did you see it? They're buried in the grass, but after a while, your eyes will start to pick up that shape of scallop. There was one I missed. I didn't know if you've seen that. Another one. And when I find one, I often will continue to look around the area. Oh, there's a false one. Oh, no, it wasn't. I kept it because it had some meat to it. But when you find one, it's always a good idea to search that area more thoroughly because they tend to be in groups around. So let's continue to scan. Oh, there's one hidden. I seen them there in a second. But your eyes really get attuned to that. And I'm trying not to put my feet down. One of the things that you don't see is I am not walking. I'm using fins so I don't murk up the water because I'm going back and forth in an area, especially if I find some scallops and I need to backtrack. So that's another tip. Stay floating on the surface. I'm in 3 to 5 feet of water, and that way I don't have to walk my feet and scurry around. I can see what I need to see, especially in a day like this, because it's not always as visible as you see right there in the water. And right now we're on the backside of the state park, which is the clearest part of the Port St. Joe Bay. Down in the south, it gets murky at times, and you have to go out first thing in the morning. Now, what I want you to see right there, did you see that open sand area? I try to work those areas on the edge of the sand. And oh, I got distracted. I always get distracted, but there was a cool little shell with a clam on, or not a clam, but a little crab on the shell. It just caught my eye there for a second, so I got distracted, as you've seen with the pufferfish and the the blue crabs and such. But it's a pretty little shell, but we'll let that guy go. And I find those quite often out there. Nice shell. So let's continue searching on the edge of where this sandy patch was. Oh, I seen another one. And what I'm doing is working the edge of the sandy patch in about 4 feet in on the edge of the sandy patches. And like I was saying before, I found one, and then I found two. I think I find several. See the kind of bag that I purchased? I went down to Blue Water Outriggers there in Port St. Joe, and I bought that bag. That's the best bag for me. Here we go. Looking for some more. So let's play a game here, and I'm going to start scanning and see if you can see it. See if you can see the scallop. Do you see him? Look closely. I'm training your eyes on how to find him. There he is. So we're going to try a couple of these right here to help develop your technique, because you have to develop a set of eyes that can look at it. And you want to, like I said, get the sun on your back when it's higher in the day or in the morning. It seems to work well, but sometimes I change my approach path so I can see in through the grass better. There's another one. Can you see it? Pause the video. Can you see it? I'll reach in and get him for you. But underwater, I'm seeing all those, and I don't miss a lot of them. That's why I tend to get my limits pretty quick. So I want you to develop, I'm doing a side scan search technique, working left and right, back and forth along the parallel to the shore right now. So I'm scanning left and right. I found them, and let's see if I can find another one right there. Do you see it? There it is. You see it? Look closely. This is how you develop your eyes. I don't know a better way to do it in a training video than this. There he is. And these ones actually have some fat meat in them. They're real heavy, and that meat is almost as big as my thumb on a lot of those meats. And there we go. Put them in the bag. Easy way to collect them. Let's continue searching, scanning left and right. Let's do one more. You see it? There it is. Do you see it? Look closely. Look closely. This is the eyes that you're learning how to develop in this training video. That one was hidden really well, but I wanted you to definitely see easier ones and harder ones. And I'm in an area with other scallopers, and they're murking up the water upstream of me a little bit. And oh, there it is, another. I found one. So they always seem to be around each other. So when I find one, I tend to look really hard, and when the area dries up, so to speak, I will continue snorkeling till I find another patch of them and work those patch. And I'll work either a square box pattern, and I'm looking for some of these sandy edges. You'll have like a sand patch. There's another one. That was a pretty easy one to find. And I'll collect most of these right here, and then I go up in the boat, and then I will size them out, and I'll throw the small ones back to have the largest catch I can for my 2-gallon limits. Remember, it's 2 gallons per person, what's the limit you can do in Florida. There's another one. And these all are pretty decent size, and I would call them medium, the medium largest, but the meat is pretty thick inside these, so I was real happy with that catch. Scanning. Carefully looking. Patience. Oh, there he is again. I think I'm seeing 2 of them right there. One. No, I guess it was only one. It's kind of cool to see them when they swim at times. But again, you pick up one and you scan. Right there's another one right beside it. So get in the habit of, when you find them, look harder around that area before you throw them in your bag. I usually do 2 or 3 before I put in my bag, so I don't take my eyes off the target. There's another one right beside it. There's another one. Notice now in this video I'm doing a different angle. I'm kind of showing it straight over the top because sometimes when the sun changes direction, I have to put my angle of view straight down versus in front of me. And so you try different techniques so you get the best angle that you can see down through the grass to pick them out. So we're just plugging and chugging. Right there was two right beside each other. Once again, a twofer. I like when I can get a threefer or a fourfer. That is 4s at a time or 3 at a time. And a lot of these I'm coming down and I'm only in 3 or 4 feet of water, but I am holding my breath momentarily to bend down and grab them. So it's like a mini snorkeling. Continue the search. Carefully scanning. So you scan with me. All right, here's one of those sand patches, what I was talking about, I'm pointing at. When you see these sand patches, you need to work along that edge about 4 to 6 feet in. Yeah, sometimes I'll take it and work at 3 to 4 feet in, and then I'll come around the second time and work like 3 to 6 feet in. And I'm going to find the most of them on the edges of these sand patches. That's another tip for you guys. Now, I've been coming out here for many years. I have hundreds of spots. And all of that trying to get different spots comes down to these 3 areas that I already told you about. And I go out and do some testing. That morning, I'll go out there and find the spots. And I'll keep going spot to spot till I find them. And then when I find a spot, I work it. So we just picked up a few, and now I'm just saying we're going to continue to work along the edge and just see how many that I get that are along this sand edge. I was trying to get that scalp to swim for you guys. There's another one. Just note how many I'm going to find here along this edge of this sand patch. And you can see these sand patches if you come in with your kayak or with your boat, you can see them. Continue working the edge of the sand. Carefully and slowly, methodically searching for that pattern, that round pattern with the ridges. You know, it's funny, if you do this all day long or come down there for like week-long trips and do it every day, you're going to see these scallops in your sleep. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I only do this, one time a year when the scallop season opens here in Florida. And each place I go, I tend to do very well. But my main hometown, I'm local, is Port St. Joe Bay. And so I feel like I have a good handle on where to find them. And I know where the bigger ones are at. So wrapping up the end of this dive, kind of coming back to the boat. Just take a little view there. Beautiful day, beautiful day. The water was clearest as it can be back out here. Oh, another blue crab. They will pinch the tar out of you. That little crab right there, if you want to let that pinch you, go ahead. But I guarantee you that thing can pinch a lot harder than what you would believe. But they're excellent eating. My wife loves them. But I wasn't trying to get blue crab this particular trip. Now this is the last underwater sequence, and I wanted to take this time to show you basically, here's some areas where I'm going too fast. And I've been doing this while I can go a little faster than the standard person, but I'm going to miss something. You have to go slow. Now I may be doing a swim between spot and spot. Now I'm slowing down and trying to really look straight down because that grass is getting thicker and it's harder for me to see. This is an area that's pretty sandy, but there are a lot of areas that's really, really thick. And the last thing I wanted to show you was I'm using a set of fins. There's my bag. I have a weight belt because I like to float down to the bottom a little bit easier, but basically a set of fins, mask, snorkel, a catch bag, and gloves. Gloves are very important to protect your hands from things like sea urchins and other sharp objects on the ocean floor.
We just finished up the second dive and we're topped out with 10 gallons per boat. It's 2 gallons per person, but on a boat you only get 10 gallons. So we got some good ones in here, and as you will see in the video, I got a lot of nice ones as well. There's another big one right there. All in all, able to limit out quite easily, so let's head on back to the house. Oh, here's one. Let's check this one. Here's a big papa one. Put in the sunlight, I can't see it.
Yep.
Here, wait. Put in your hand. There you go.
Kind of like with your hand, it just shows how big it is with that
Yeah,
bottle.
that's a big one. This one got a lot of barn. This is an old one, but it's pretty big compared to what you get here in a bay scallop. So very nice, very nice.
It sure is the biggest.
Take a look where we're at here.
I think it said 2023 on it.
Nice location.
Yeah, at first it was like a
Nice location. Well folks, we're back here at the cleaning station, and I would like to show you how to clean a scallop. You have a dark side and a light side, and you need a tool, a flat. I use a cheap old camping knife and I bend it up at a 45 at the end. You come right here, hold in your left hand, black side up, squeeze in here, and I kind of pry it open, and I stick my finger in right there to hold it. And then I'll come across the top, and you want to scrape the top like this underneath to break the muscle. And I open it up. Alright, and then you're left with a scallop, but you want to take what we call the sweater off, so I peel it back like that. And you're left with that piece of meat. And that's how you clean it. There's the meat that you're after right there. But that's it. So just practice and you get faster. I do about 11 seconds per, and so it'll take me a while to do 2 gallons. Alright, let's do one more. There's a smaller one. What I do is I bring them in a bucket of water, and they're half open so I can grab them. If you look in there, you can see the meat. Come across here, cut the meat, peel it back, see a nice clean cut. Come around the side, I loosen up the sweater around the side, and I like this knife because it has a little bit of a jagged edge, and I kind of pull it off my hand just like that, and then boop, there's the meat, just like that. Well, there's a quick demonstration. Hope you guys liked it. We're gonna sit here in the shade and clean all these up. There's some other nice ones right there. We're gonna clean that one, and then we have another batch over here. So this will take me about 2 hours by myself. Well, let's go ahead and we'll get on to that. Phew, it's a nice day, beautiful day. So let's get on with it. Dolphins right up here. There it is, right there. We have a lot of bottlenose dolphins out here, porpoises. They were always, there they go again. And 2 of them together, I believe. Now they're getting farther away, but got a big cleaning party right here. Some meat. There's some meat right there.
Sometimes it's good to like put it in your hand just to kind of give like a reference point.
Oh, yeah.
A knife.
Yeah, there you go. Nice big pluggers. There's ones I've been cleaning right there. Have a lot more to go. So let's get on cleaning. Well, folks, that wraps up another one. We appreciate you staying to the end and watching the video. We ask that you like, share, subscribe to the channel, and follow us at Facebook at Sealander Adventures. Until the next one, this is Sealander from Port St. Joe, Florida. Scalloping, baby. Take care. Bye-bye.